Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and today, back on the stage with the Hype Magazine live sessions is the one and only Kelly Jenrette. She is an Emmy-nominated actress. She was on for Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale, and now she's the second interview that I've done from this amazing series called All American Homecoming, which premiered on the CW in February. So thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Man, you're an amazing talent.
Thank you.
I don't know where to start, but let's refresh them. So from the inside looking out, talk to us about Kelly Jenrette.
From the inside looking out, well, I define myself as a Christian Black girl from Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised, one of 6 kids, started acting in elementary school, fell in love with it, did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Then my daddy went to take me to see the 5 Heartbeats, fell in love even more, memorized the movie front and back. But then when I graduated from high school, I was like, well, acting's not a real job. So I need a real job. So I went to Xavier University in New Orleans because I was going to be a forensic psychologist. That's right, boot camp. But then my second year, when I saw all of the science classes, I was like, I'd much rather play one on TV. So I transferred back home to Georgia State, got my degree in theater, and really began to pursue this acting thing professionally. And it's just been nonstop ever since. I moved out here to LA in 2006. 7 years after that, I booked my first co-star role on a TV show called Happy Endings on ABC. And then the train just kept moving from there.
You're an amazing talent. Just one point, I have guest lectured at Xavier. It's a magnificent institution.
Yes.
And it's one of my prouder moments in my past.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I am just like, look, the lady has IMDb that is like 62 pages long. And she's had some very big impact shows, but let's talk about, All Day and Night. That's a Netflix piece, right? And then Uncorked is coming. Then look, you've been on screen with Courtney B Vance. How is he? That is an amazing actor.
Courtney B Vance is hilarious. Like, I didn't realize how funny Courtney B Vance really was. The last thing I had seen him in when we did Uncorked was The People, the OJ, where he brilliantly played Johnny Cochran. And so when I found out I was going to get to work with him and play his daughter, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But I remember shooting the family scenes for Uncorked, and there was so much laughter. I would love to see the blooper reel that they have from those dinner scenes, but also just very gracious, very kind, so full of wisdom, eager and ready and willing to share. It was a blessing to be able to work with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that tidbit. I've never interviewed him, but I always want to get inside on him. I just saw a little clip of him. We're going to pass on that. Let me go. Because it relates to the Oscars and we don't want to talk about it. So I started watching All American Homecoming.
Okay.
Found it very interesting. There's a young man, Royal,
Mhm.
who is a magnificent person. I got a chance to speak with him, and he brings so much to the table when it comes to telling a story. How did you get involved with All American Homecoming, and what made it important to you?
Well, I was sent the audition for this episode. At the time, it was an episode of All American, and there was a potential for it to be a spinoff show. I was already a fan of All American. It's one of the very few shows my husband and I would watch live. Like, yes, we would set the DVR, but it was also like, okay, it's Monday, 8 o'clock, All American is on. That's just what we did. So when this episode came along and the possibility of it being a spinoff, I was like, absolutely, sign me up. And then when I found out who this character was, it just felt like home. Like this felt like, oh, this is me with a little bit of spin on it. Yeah, like why would I not want to be a part of this universe?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
pretty amazing. I don't have any acting chops, but if I was going to be in this, I would want to be in something important like All American Homecoming.
Yeah.
It gives us an opportunity to address some issues that are like mainstream issues,
Mm-hmm.
very important, and especially dealing with our youth and people like being comfortable in their own skin, and gaining support or not gaining support, and so I just thought it was really important. So, well, you're wonderful, you're magnificent. You already know this. Anyway,
Thank you.
talk to me about the conversation. I believe that we broached this at one point, that you were doing a play, creating a play called Black Rebirth Collective. And that imagines a real life conversation between the amazing queens, Betty Shabazz and Coretta Scott King. Where are we at in that? Are you still writing?
I am still writing. So Black Rebirth Collective is the theater collective that I am a founding member of with 3 other amazing women. And Betty and Coretta is the piece that I'm working on. So a couple of weeks ago, we had a meeting just to kind of talk about where we are with things. And something will happen with it this year. It has been a long time in the making. There have been a lot of delays and pauses for me, feelings of inadequacy, feelings of like, I can't do this. I don't know what's going on. What is happening? Yes, I can do it. I'm all in, and just all of these different emotions. And so I have a tendency to edit in my head before I put it on the page. And that is detrimental to any writer, to be editing in your head before you even give it a chance to hit the paper. So this year, at the very least, we will have a reading of it. So I'm excited about where it's going, where it is, and the potential that it has.
It's a great undertaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great undertaking. And, I admire you for stepping up to the plate and taking on that challenge. And
Yeah, thank you.
the fact that you feel like this kind of conversation would have been very important, historical, and the fact that you also shine a light on how these ladies actually supported and motivated their men. And they weren't the stay-at-home moms, they were activists, and they were vocal, and they led. Oftentimes they led their men, which is not something that we talk about.
Right.
So
yeah. And oftentimes I think what drew me to it initially was who are these women outside of Malcolm and Martin? Like, what dreams did they have? what hopes and aspirations, what fears, what insecurities, who were these women? Because oftentimes we just simply refer to them as the wives or the widows of, and I want an opportunity to see what Myrlie Evers Williams, in the foreword of one of the biographies about Betty Shabazz, said that their relationship went from rivalry to tolerance to genuine affection. And I was like, I'd love to see what that journey looked like for these amazing women. So that's where it's coming from.
Okay. I was enthralled then when we first broached the subject. I'm excitedly waiting, anxiously waiting. I'm impatient, being selfish. I'm old. You see all this gray. I'm not going to be here forever. Bring it on when you can. Bring it on when you can.
Yes, I will do.
Y'all, this lady is part of history as well. She and her husband, Melvin Jackson Jr., were the only husband and wife couple. Let me just say married couple. That's the politically correct term nowadays. The only married couple to be nominated for Emmys in the same year.
Black married couple.
Black.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Black.
Mm-hmm.
What was that feeling? Recap that feeling for me.
It was unbelievable. They were doing it, they were announcing the winners live. And then they were like, okay, to see the rest of the nominees, they were announcing the nominees live. And then they said to see the rest of the nominees, go to the website. So I was like, well, I'll just go to the website and see. So I go to the outstanding actress in a drama series, and I see Dame Judy. I see Viola Davis and Cicely Tyson, Cherry Jones, Samira Wiley, Kelly Jenrette. And I was like, wait, that's my name. Like, what is happening? Like, I just kept saying no, like, no, what? No. So then my husband calls and he's like, babe, you're an Emmy-nominated actress. And I was like, I know. And at that time, he was also up for nomination in the outstanding short form category. And I was like, well, do you know if you've been nominated? He said he didn't. So I was like, well, I'm on the computer. I'll look it up. So I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, babe, you're nominated too. Like we're both nominated. And I am a bit of a recluse at times. I'm a homebody. I'm like, I just want to be able to go to set, do the work, come back home and chill. My husband has never met a stranger a day in his life. He is a networking social butterfly. And like the red carpet, he just floats on the red carpet. And I'm always like, not the red carpet. So I just felt like it was such a gift to be able to go through that experience where you got to do red carpet events. You have to go on interviews. You have to do all of these things, be out and about, and to be able to look to my left or my right and see my husband there with me was so comforting to go through that process. And so I was grateful. I was humbled by it all. It was such a beautiful experience for the both of us.
I never asked you this, but like, how did you identify your anxiety and how did you get through that? Because being a public figure, now the demand on your time and the demand for your face and your presence is increased like 100-fold. How do you deal with that? What gets you through it? Besides your husband, he's not always there. So
right. Yeah. Really just taking moments of stillness, like breathing. Even before we started this interview, I just sat here and I was like, all right, take a couple of deep breaths, be in this moment, listen well, and enjoy it. And so I think prayer and just being still helps me to calm my nerves, helps me to also not make it larger than what it is, give myself permission to feel the feelings, but also to focus on the facts and not get lost in like, well, what if we're in this moment, just be here.
I confess that I have, over 2,500 interviews. And before each one, I'm nervous as hell.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I've done my study right, that I connect and provide, an open, friendly, and safe atmosphere, for the person I'm talking to. Because I want to turn it from an interview into a conversation. That's what I would rather have.
Yeah.
But so I feel it before, especially now that we're on video, right? You see, I don't have myself popping up live, right? I just have me as the talking head. So you see me, but nobody else is going to see me do the interview. I love it. But look, I'm a coward. I'm just going to say it. Anyway, you have the CW's All-American. That's rolling now. Also, you did Manhunt: Deadly Games on CBS. Talk to us about that piece, because I didn't watch it. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I'll let you slide this time, Jerry. So Manhunt: Deadly Games is part of an anthology series. So it was officially season 2 of Manhunt. The first Manhunt was Manhunt Unabomber. And so my season focused on the bombing that took place in 1996 at the Centennial Olympic Park in Atlanta, Georgia. And what drew me to it was the fact that it was covering the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, because that's where I'm from. I remember those Olympics. My mom got to carry the torch. She took a picture holding the torch. My brother, my younger brother, was in the opening ceremony and closing ceremony of the Olympics. And so I was like, oh my God, like, yes, of course. But when I booked it and was doing the research, there was so much that I did not know. I was younger, so there were a lot of things that I just wasn't privy to know how this hero, Richard Jewell, who was turned into a terrorist, essentially, when he saved hundreds of people's lives, and what Eric Robert Rudolph went on to do as a result of being able to get away with that bombing. It was a wonderful experience working with the cast, Gethin, Cameron, so many amazing actors. But it was also heartbreaking just to see what happened to the people that were involved.
How involved, since we're talking about involved, we start like the rappers in the battle rap with the last word, involved. How involved do you get with your characters, and what do you leave with them, and what do you bring of them with you after?
If it could be described as a swimming pool, I jump in head first. Like, I dive in. I want to be completely immersed, involved in who my character is. I will take the backstory that I'm given and then create more backstory off of what I have been given. Do any kind of research that I can, especially like with Manhunt. I did research into the FBI and found out there was a lawsuit that the Black FBI agents filed against FBI for discrimination. So then that informs my character, who's a Black female in the 90s, working with the FBI. How does she move? How does she speak? What like that informs everything. And so I look for the little nuggets, things that may be a secret that no one else may know, but I know for my character, because then that informs how I say things and what I say and the look and how my body posture is. And so it's very important for me to immerse myself into the character. And I think it's always important to bring a little bit of me. That's what makes it different than somebody else who may play the role, a little bit of me. And then I will depending on the character, allow what I learn to also kind of inform me moving forward in my life. Like, all right, maybe you need to be a little bit slower to speak quicker, to listen, not judging so quickly, even though all the evidence may be pointing to a certain person. That's not always the truth, so I think it's a beautiful dance, where I get to learn and I also get to inform.
Okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna go watch it. So
Yeah, you should watch it. It's a really good series.
I watched, like the little crime documentary crap that they put on. They talk about that and how that young man, was treated and, put through the ringer for something that he didn't do.
Yeah.
And, being exonerated later doesn't help the trauma. You got PTSD and, wanted to be a law enforcement officer and really love that. That's ruined. All your dreams ruined. It just don't make no sense.
Yeah.
War sucks. Anyway, speaking of dreams, was entertainment a dream from childhood? Were you the entertaining child at the family functions and things like that?
I think for a very long time, it was just that, a dream, not something that I felt like I could fully grasp. I feel like, amongst my family, I am kind of like the life of the party. I'm the comedian. I'm the one that's always keeping everybody laughing, telling jokes. And I think just growing up, it was always something that that excited me, when I watched movies or TV shows. I remember watching The Cosby Show and seeing Rudy Huxtable and being like, oh my God, like, man, that would be so cool to do that. But like I said, it just felt like, oh, well, this is a dream. Like, that's something that everybody else can do. The people that have been chosen to do it. That's something that they can do. I can just enjoy it. And I can do plays, at my church or at school. I can do different talent shows and stuff, but that's as far as it will go. But I feel like it was always a dream.
Well, you're living the dream, obviously.
I'm living it.
Making it happen on multiple facets. Not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera as well. What else have you done behind the camera that you want to share with us?
Behind the camera. So I'm a member of this organization called the Creative Coalition, and they were given a grant to have a competition to give to 4 to 5 different storytellers to do a short film about the untold story of obesity in America. And I was one of the winners of the grant. And so I got to executive produce and co-write a short film. It is called You Just Big Boned, because I'm from Atlanta, from the South. In the Black community, we don't really talk about obesity. Obesity is not a word that we use. We say, you just big bone, you're a little thick with it. Those are the things that we use. But we saw during the pandemic how obesity and COVID was like the deadly cocktail. And so I co-wrote this piece with a really good friend of mine, Patricia Cuffey Jones, who also directed it. And we were talking about, it was loosely based or inspired by events from my childhood growing up. Like they used to say, Kelly, shake that belly. They called me heavy duty. I remember one time we went to the country, Adel, Georgia, for the summer, and my grandmother had fixed me a plate. And I was like, no, Grandma, I'm not eating any bread. I need to lose weight. And so just wanted to kind of explore what that looked like and the conversations that we do and don't have concerning our health, especially in the Black community. And so I was so honored to be able to tell that story. It's still kind of on the festival circuit right now. So hopefully maybe this year, next year, it'll come out and the world will get to see it.
I would love to see that. I have an annoying 14-year-old child.
Yeah.
Who is obsessed with her darn appearance. Okay, granted, she's a cheerleader, and not to say that all cheerleaders, but you're on show, but they have cheerleaders of multiple sizes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's so addicted to this 1970s Vogue cosmopolitan physique crap.
Mm-hmm.
She's annoying me to absolutely no end. And I would love for her to be able to see that and say, you see, doesn't matter. What matters is what's inside, and you just need the opportunity to let that shine.
Yeah.
Will oftentimes overlook. So be happy within yourself, within your skin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I please tell Grace to let me know when it comes out.
Yes.
Or you can hit me on Instagram. I'm following you. So let me know. And I'll try to finagle a screener or whatever it is. Sit there, we'll have daddy-daughter time.
Yeah.
I love being a cheer dad, but that attitude just gets on my nerves. Anyway, back to your college days.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a scholarship student at GSU?
Yes, I was. And I don't even know if they do it anymore. It was the Hope Scholarship, where you pretty much got a full ride. So I graduated from high school cum laude. I think I had 4.0 in my major. Academics, like my mom didn't play. Like I was also a cheerleader.
Okay.
From 8th grade all the way up to my senior year of high school. And it was like, yeah, you can do all those things, but if those grades aren't what they're supposed to be, there will be no more cheerleading. There will be no more after school anything. Like, get your education.
Yeah, I'm dealing with an issue. We caught her vaping, and peer pressure and all that stuff, and the market, of course.
Oh yeah.
She's on restriction till her birthday, which is in July, and she's only doing cheer. And you know why she's only doing cheer? Because she's doing competitive cheer.
Okay.
And high school cheer. And she won a national championship. She has an opportunity to go to college. They're already scouting her. And like, you're not going to miss that opportunity because, with the prices of schools nowadays, I ain't having it. You have to find your own.
I know. The student loans.
Yeah. I asked you that question. Really, student loans, please. Lord. Yeah, I'm still in pain. I'm 59 years old. I'm still in pain from student loans. They never go away. I
know.
It's crazy. Well, I asked you that question originally to ask you. So you probably had scholarship student. You probably had a meal card and all that good stuff. Because I like to ask people about their college struggle meals. I know, mine, of course, was ramen noodles, Doritos, cream cheese, and orange crush.
Okay.
That was my entire grocery list. Anytime I went, I was curious what it might have been.
Ramen noodles.
Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
There it is.
Yeah, chicken. And the crazy thing, I would add salt to my ramen noodles, which is insane because they were already so salty.
Yeah.
Like it is nothing but by God's grace that I am not a walking salt stick filled with hypertension. Like, and I don't mean like a little bit. I added a lot of salt to those things. Yeah. It was bad, but it was so delicious. I mean, you could get 10 of them, for $10.
Man. Yeah. And as a college student, with minimal budget, you had to stretch. And the guys in the penitentiary aren't the only ones that know how to make great use of ramen noodles. Bread, mackerel, all that good stuff. Throw egg in there, and
Yeah.
you got a whole casserole.
Listen, you make it do what it do.
Yeah. We're running short on time, and I want to respect your time. I appreciate everything that you've given. You brought so much value to the conversation. Could you tell me what most satisfies you about what you do?
Ooh, what most satisfies me about what I do? See, you always ask the tough questions, Jerry. What most satisfies me about what I do is that I feel like I get to fulfill whatever assignment God has placed on my life at that particular time. So in 2014, I took the focus off of me and wanting to book something and wanting to be famous and wanting to be this to like, okay, God, I do trust and believe that you gave me this gift. How do you want me to use it? If there's a set that I need to be on so that I can share something with someone or encourage them or motivate them or receive encouragement or motivation, that's where I want to be. And so having little nuggets along the way of like, oh, that's why God has me here on this particular set. That's why God had me meet you. That has been my greatest satisfaction, just fulfilling the assignment wherever God has me to go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think I asked you this question since some time has passed. I'm going to ask it to you again. You've been interviewed by everybody that can Uncle and Dog, right? Is there a question that we as journalists have not asked you that you wanted to answer, but we seem to skip over it?
You did ask that, and I forgot that you asked that. And if I would have remembered, I would have been like, okay, Kelly, come up with a question.
It's okay.
And I think it's the same answer from last time. Like, man, yeah, that's something that I have to think about. And then I need to really do it. And then I need to write it down.
Yeah. Because I'm going to be back at you again.
Yeah, I know.
You have a friend over here at the Hype Magazine, whether you want him or not. I'm definitely interested in everything that you're having coming up. Yo, she's got 2 films on Netflix right now, All Day and a Night, opposite Jeffrey Wright and Ashton Sanders, and Uncorked, alongside Courtney B Vance and Niecy Nash. Now, you know that's a combination that you have to pay attention to. They're funny, they're amazing, and, just shout out to you and wishing you much continued success. Is there anything that you wanted to cover that I may have neglected?
No, I think we got it all, Jerry.
Okay. Hey, I'm getting good at this, y'all.
Yeah.
You're so helpful with it, though. You made it easy for me. I appreciate you turning the interview into a conversation. I look forward to speaking with you again. Will you come back and talk to us again? Especially, I want to hear about the 2 queens coming.
Yes, of course, Jerry. Thank you for having me again.
I appreciate you so much. All right, everybody. Life Magazine Live Sessions. Kelly Jenrette, amazing personality. She's doing so much, and pay attention because she's bringing something to the table for our young people, especially our daughters. And we should keep her in prayer and uplift her and ensure that this sister gets all the support that we can offer. Until the next time, though, Kelly.
Thank you.